Hey, it's Christine. I just thought I would get into a little more on the wedding book. Sorry, I'm not feeling very good. I'm getting to the point where if I eat, I start getting sick to my stomach regardless what I eat or when. I don't know what's going on. So I don't sound like my energetic self right now. Pretty nauseated. But anyway, I had showed you before, you know, what the fake leather looks like when I got done with the crackle and everything. I've got the pages glued, and right now it looks kind of like a mess. What had happened is when I glued some of the previous pages on this side of the book, because you want to kind of do one side and have it lay flat, and then, you know, so that you can get the book flat so you get less curl in the pages. And as you can see, I do have some curl in the pages, but that will fix eventually. And you know, some of the glue is stuck a little bit, but I had wax paper in between each section that as it dried, so most of it has dried. I had a little bit of curl happen here. What was going on is the Mod Podge I had, of course it wasn't something that I used years ago. I had bought some for a project and just didn't touch it. So it got kind of gooey inside and went from white to clear, and because I wasn't used to the project very much, you know, to the product, you know, I just thought, oh, it's just gumming up, I'm just going to use the clear parts of it. Well, the problem was that the glue was getting kind of old. The reason why I figured that out was because I had to go buy a new bottle because the other stuff was getting to be there was a big clump, I couldn't use it anymore. And when I bought this is all white and liquid. So that says to me my bottle was extremely old. I also, for this project, I managed to get Mod Podge that is antiqued. Let me dig that out for you. My fiance had gotten some extra money, so we went and, because he drives for 2 different delivery companies, so we got extra glue so I could do this, and took some of the money that we had gotten a little bit from, so far we've gotten some from the GoFundMe, and people who didn't want to go GoFundMe but did donate some funds, so we were able to buy materials. We got the rings for more rings for the dress, and I found this nice antiqued matte Mod Podge, and this is going to kind of give the pages, when I use them, a little bit more yellowish cast, which is what I want. I want it to be antiqued. I also managed to get some Fabric Fusion, because I don't know if I will be, I think I'm going to be using some laces on this, but I'm not really sure what I'm doing yet. So anyway, before you start this project, you want to make sure you don't have an antique glue. I mean, you want to have something that is workable and fairly fresh, because I think that's part of why I got the wrinkling, is because it wasn't fresh. And I did have some issues with this page doing some buckling right here. It didn't quite dry stable, but as you notice, I'm not having any trouble flattening these pages out. You can see where the buckle really happened right here. I'll have to work around it. I got extra papers. Michael's had a whole bunch of scrapbooking pages on sale for like 59 cents. So I grabbed a bunch of them. I'll have plenty for beyond this project. But, you know, I went for cheap because I'm going to be tearing things apart. So one thing after you get the drying done is you want to make sure that you're pressing all the pages, you know, so that you can get it so they can be flipped around, you know, and viewed and everything, and so that'll be fine. And here I'm going to do some scrapbooking pages will be glued over top of this partly, and maybe some laces or something, and these will be the areas that people will be able to write And like I said before, once they write, you know, names and addresses of the guest list, then I will be taking the Antique Mod Podge and going over top of that to finish those pages off. But that's where the book sits right now. What I plan on doing, and this is the last of this leather here that I have, and this was donated to me by somebody who was moving and had a bunch of leather in their garage. And as you can see, this looks fantastic against this here. The only problem was somebody had been sewing this as a bag and never finished it. And I have all the pieces for this bag, and I really hate the idea of cutting this apart, because it would be a cool bag for the Renaissance Festival. It's super duper heavy. It's already partly sewn, but I don't have, I mean, I have saddle leather, which would be too thick. This is just absolutely perfect, and I think I have to sacrifice it. I don't want to, but I think I have to. So what's going to be happening is I will be binding the whole book with this. Having a window cut out here, of course. Doggone it, stay put. Have a window cut out here with the chainmail in the center. I'm going to stitch the chainmail to this leather and then glue everything down. And so you'll be able to see the stitching, stuff like that. And then I'm going to have that one stone centerpiece from my high school art teacher. So this will be over top of the chainmail right in the center of the book, except I'm going to be taking that brass thing off. I don't know what I'll be doing there. Either that or I'll paint that silver, because that is a really cool design. This is a pin, and of course it came apart, but if I paint this whole thing silver, that would work. Okay, I just made up my mind. So that's it. That's the progress on the wedding book right now. Hopefully this helps somebody out on the process, but it's getting there. And once I get the cover assembled, then I will show you guys again, because I'm going to do the cover first. Although I thought I was going to be using buckskin and I'd have to wrap the leather around, except this leather is really thick for that, so I don't quite know how I'm going to do this yet. I do not have enough buckskin to sneeze on, and the stuff gets expensive. I don't want to order more if I can help it. Although this leather would be perfect for a book by itself too, so I guess I really haven't made up my mind. I might have to spend on the buckskin, and I don't want to. But, you know, it's a wedding. What do you say? So anyway, you guys have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you later. Blessed be.